Welcome to today's episode of Bravo and Blaze with Jenny Blaze. I have a special guest with me today. Please allow me to introduce Mr. Murilo Bueno. Hi, Murilo.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
It's it's been a week,
A crazy week,
a
to say
crazy
the
week
least.
to say the least. Yes.
Well, let's get into it then. So, I have a lot of questions.
Okay.
Obviously, we just saw the season 4 finale of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City on Tuesday. It's been 5 days. Today's Sunday. And a lot has happened since then. Not only from Team Jen Shah, but from Monica, Tanisha, Heather. A lot of things have gone out. But I wanted to specifically just first confirm a couple things with you regarding the communication we've gotten from Jen, just so that people, because I think people are confused and I don't think they understand, and I don't really understand either. So I just want to confirm you run Jen Shah's social media, correct?
Yes.
Do you speak on behalf of Jen in like her Instagram story that was released, I think on Tuesday night, or was it Wednesday night or Wednesday? Sorry.
I think it was Wednesday. I didn't like come up with that on my own. So
Okay.
I don't wake up in the morning and then I'm like, "Good morning, Shaw Squad. Love Jen." No, like that's not I'm not trying to pretend to be anyone here.
Yeah.
It's something that it it's she has a team, she still has a manager, she has a family. Some people don't believe that, but she does, and she has people that love and care for her, and
Mhm.
so that's just kind of like a group effort when it comes to her
Okay.
social media. I'm just the one that's like posting it as
Executing. Yeah.
yeah, like I hadn't talked to her, but her manager talked to her, Coach Shaw
Gotcha.
talked to her. So it's not just like, oh, somebody needs to say something. It's a group effort to kind of clear things up as they come, to also try to protect her at the end of the
Mhm.
day, because she doesn't have all the full information of what's going on out here with that.
Yeah. And now I guess that was another question I have. Like, is is her team, are you guys reaching out to her and letting her know what's going on out here? Because
She hears it. She
she
hears
hears
it
it.
about it from in there, you know.
Oh,
So,
she does?
but she doesn't get the full story because it's just viewer
Yeah.
perception. They want to know in that viewer, so it still kind of confuses her because
Yeah.
she's trying to not know anything, but it still comes to her, and so that's kind of where it gets tricky with
Right.
because it's not like she can just get up and call us immediately depending on when she heard about it. And we can't
Yeah.
call her, but then we don't want to email her about it because that's like not formal enough, for what happened
Yeah.
essentially. So
So the big reveal, I guess, and I hate talking about Heather Gay's black eye, to be honest, but I just feel like we need to clear up some things because in the IG story released on Jen Shah's account this week, it said, Jen was saying that she did not punch Heather and Andy wanted to have a sit down one-on-one with her. Is there anything you want to elaborate on that IG story that was released?
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. If I'm pretty sure everyone believes that if Bravo had such footage and
Mhm.
facts, then they would have released it. That's what they do. That's all they're about. They did a full investigation on the case and came to nothing and closed it. So why all of a sudden everyone has enough evidence? It
Yeah,
seems like
and why is
why
Heather
now?
choosing now? Yeah, exactly. Like, I
Jen has been
wonder.
gone for almost a year.
Yeah,
Like, why
yeah,
now? Because it's convenient.
yeah. Because if she wanted to, as soon as Jen went to prison, and if she was so afraid of what Jen would do to her, then why wouldn't she just say it as soon as Jen went to prison? So that part is kind of strange to
And
me.
then actually, today, just barely, someone sent me a screenshot of day one San Diego trip, and Heather already had the beginning of a black eye.
Oh yes, you did show me.
So, I mean, that's just something else to add to the equation, you know? It's
Yeah,
like, where did that come from?
one of the theories going around before Heather said it was Jen was that it was a botched, um,
Injection.
yeah, like
But
beauty
think about it,
procedure.
how is she gonna own up to such thing when she's trying to fight the other person that's saying she had a botched job?
It's like Legally Blonde when the woman on trial was like, I can't tell my alibi because it'll ruin my business.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it was just the whole the whole 15 minutes of the end was just kind of like a lot. And it was
It was
like
a lot.
part of me was like, good, somebody's exposing her, but then it's like, whoa, the lies, because I'm sure you heard the whole purse thing came back up. My
Yep, the
favorite
person
subject.
came up and we talked about that. I've already given a few updates since the finale, but I did want to go through. Okay, so we talked about the IG story, then we also saw the statement, and it sounds like, I don't know, when I after I read it, the first thing that came to mind was reality reckoning. And so some people I saw were, I don't know if they were speculating or if this is based on any actual substance, but people are saying that Jen is planning to sue Bravo and Andy. Is that true?
Well, if these accusations keep going as she should, it's defamation. Not only that,
Yeah.
but she was stalked. They knew that. They
Hmm.
had all the documents with the cease and desist to these accounts. Monica was named on those. We didn't know
Yes.
the extent of it,
So
of
I have a
her involvement.
So I have a question. Okay. Monica, there was three people that the cease and desist was sent to, and Monica, Miss
Fowler.
Fowler was on there. And we now know that Monica Fowler is also Monica Garcia. And I just, this was sent in 2021. And mainly what was on the cease and desist that they were pointing out is that they obtained, private footage that they use to distribute, and that is very illegal.
Yeah.
So my question, I guess, is weren't Jen and Heather still tight during that time? Weren't you guys still all friends during that time? And did Heather not know Monica and who she was, regardless of her full name?
Yeah. I wasn't tied with Heather since 2020, but yeah,
Okay.
she was tied with Jen.
Mhm.
And, but I don't, I mean, it sounds like Monica went to Beauty Lab in 2019, which is even weirder to me because that's when the whole show started.
Mhm.
So it all adds up. Like, and it's crazy to even have to go back to the very beginning. And it's like almost like a full circle moment. And like
Mhm.
I was thinking about it this morning, just how all of the issues we've dealt with in the show, whether that's Jen or me, it all came crumbling down into one thing,
Mhm.
everything. And it's like, it's so crazy to think.
You mean Reality Von Tease? Like that
Yeah,
was the
Reality Von
source of all
Tease,
the issues,
the
really?
purse, the black eye,
Yep.
like every single thing that has happened kind of came to a full circle.
Wow. So did you know about Reality Von Tease this
Yeah.
whole time?
Well, I knew that Koa was involved 100%.
Oh, you didn't know it was Monica until the finale?
No, we knew Monica had something to do with the footage leaked,
Yes.
but
Okay.
I found out a couple of weeks ago about Monica's full involvement because somebody decided to apologize and come clean because she was about to get accused of running it.
And that person is Tanisha? So who was behind Reality Von Tease other than Tanisha, Monica, and Koa? Was there anyone else?
Yeah, there was this girl that was friends with Koa.
They're not anyone we would know from the show though, right?
No,
Just like
they
behind the scenes?
yeah.
Did you listen to the audios of Monica saying she was gonna go up to Park City and drive by?
Yep.
What are your thoughts on all the audio and video that's been leaked?
It's honestly so it's cringy, it's creepy, it's disturbing. It's just weird to me, and like it makes me just kind of made me go on a flashback. There was this one time I was like hanging curtains up at the Shaw's, and I saw someone that looked very similar to Monica, but she was brunette, and I didn't think much of it because I didn't know she was brunette. To me, Monica was the blonde that Lisa brought up, and they showed a picture. That's the Monica I know. So I didn't think much of it, right? I just didn't think of it. And then all of this, now I'm like, wait a second. And then there's photos of Jen's house, current house. So I'm like, okay, yeah, it was you.
Wait, do you think she changed her appearance, like
To
going
look
from
like Jen.
blonde
It's like
to,
that.
well,
What is it? The
maybe
white
that
girl. What is it? The one that the white girl that wants to kill you and be you. The
single white
syndrome.
female?
The white female.
No, I was thinking, do you think maybe she changed her hair from blonde to brown to throw off anyone who may be suspicious? Like, oh, like, because you said you didn't really recognize her.
Yeah.
So if Heather knew her from Jen, but only as Monica the blonde,
Right.
is it possible that Heather really didn't know who she was this whole time? Which would
No,
make me
because
think
she's
that
friends with
Monica.
Tanisha. She's friends with Tanisha. They were best
Oh, so
friends.
she knew who Monica was this whole time?
I mean, they were best friends. Tanisha was her best friend. And mind you, they've met 3 years ago. So that tells a lot about Monica having one of her most best friends of
Her
3 years. And
sister.
like, I have really close friends that I've known for decades.
Yeah.
Like, that just speaks a lot on you. But
Oh
that's
my gosh. So have you had other encounters with Monica other than when you were with Jen Shah?
no,
So you never met her mother, right? Or
no,
did you?
no.
Oh my gosh. I can't tell if they're acting. I really don't
Did you
know.
watch the video of them yelling at each other? And
Yeah.
how she had one job, and it was to have
Yes.
camera time because she's an actress.
She wants to be a star.
Yes, ma'am. Superstar.
I'm scared.
Well, there it is, star. Fun fact that I discovered. According to some legal paperworks, um, a certain wannabe housewife that got a snowflake somehow and her little pet reached out to prosecution to make themselves a part of a case that they had nothing to do with it. They weren't informants, they were not seeked out by
Yeah,
anyone.
they
They
inserted
reached
themselves.
out to them to be witnesses.
So
On
scary.
what? I don't know. We'll never know.
Wait, other than Monica? We know Monica did that, right? But
Koa, her and Koa, because they're like this.
yeah, okay.
So,
But none of the other ladies tried to do that, right? From the
no,
show? Okay, just Monica.
because they have
Yikes.
actual things to do.
So do you think, in your opinion, do you think production knew that Monica was Reality Von Tease this whole time?
Yeah,
You do?
I do. Because how do you see a cease and desist regardless of
That's true,
if
because
you
it
knew she
said
was
her name.
fully it or 1% of it? You knew she was a part of it. They knew what they were doing when they brought her in. Come on. They chose a person that person to be a housewife that has nothing to lose.
Wow. So do you remember back in, was it season 2 or season 3? Whenever Angie H was there with her Elf on the Shelf husband, remember they had a troll account or burner account and they admitted to it. I'm wondering because Reality Von Tease started way before Angie
Right.
Harrington came on. Do you think Angie was influenced by Reality Von Tease or do you think, is there any connection or could there be any connection between Angie H and Reality Von Tease?
Well, from what I remember, I think he owned up to him creating it, right? So
Yeah,
I'm
he
going to
did.
stick to the idea of that. And so I don't think that he would know about it, first of all. So I would say no. But what
Okay.
I think is interesting on that spectrum is that Heather didn't seem to have a problem then with a fake account.
True.
Hmm.
True.
And that's kind of the same thing about Monica. Is like she came clean about her affair. That doesn't change her
That was
character.
actually kind of psychotic because she said it so casually. And that's a big deal. 18 months of lying. That should have been a red flag right there. Like, hello.
But no one questioned it, and that's why I was like, okay, that just because she owned it. I hate when
Yeah.
people think because they own things that they're
Hmm.
like clean hands. That is
Yeah.
so crazy, and that's what I don't understand.
How do you feel knowing that Monica went from literally being an online troll to infiltrating Jen's inner circle to then becoming a housewife? Like, how does that make you feel? Because you were there with Jen. Like,
Yeah,
that I'm creeped out and it wasn't even me.
yeah,
But
no,
to be in
yeah.
your shoes, I can't imagine. Like, I have chills, goosebumps.
It's creepy because it just makes you not trust people,
Mhm,
regardless of what area of life they're coming in. Like
mhm,
you just don't, you lack respect for the human race in a way because it's like they're capable of anything for what they want, and
mhm.
clearly more and more we keep seeing her true self, and she keeps owning it on the internet and like, yeah, this was me and my mom fighting, and then she like distracts by saying she sent it to a close friend when
Yeah,
apparently it was 30 people. It was just like, where, who are you? You know, she's almost like a gypsy. Like, who are you?
I know. It's kind of scary.
It's terrifying. So that's what I'm like. I used to be a huge Housewives fan back in my days, you know, before all of this, and it now I can barely watch reality TV. But like, what? This is not what I liked watching. Like, I wanted to see the rich and the glam life, and
Yeah.
like a life that was hard to imagine
Attain.
having.
Yeah.
Attaining, yeah. But like, I don't even know what she does for work. Is she rich? She have money, cars, houses.
The thing is, she may start increasing her income because of this. And that's the part that scares me because what does this, what kind of
Yeah,
example does this set for future reality stars, regardless of housewives or anything? It's like now we're getting into like true crime territory
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and it's scary.
yeah. She's a stalker.
Whew.
And I just don't like the perception of like, oh, she's struggling right now and she's having such a hard time and losing so much weight, but then she's like really gaslighting the whole situation for herself too, you know? So it's like, are you struggling? Because if you're struggling, you should just stay quiet and stop posting photo shoots, owning that you're Reality Von Tease. And
Yeah.
you, it's just like, no, there's no boundaries for the emotional games there.
Do you think so? She took RHOSLC off of her Instagram bio. Do you think
Everything is
she's
calculated over
yeah,
there.
I was gonna say, do you think she did that on purpose to like
I'm
gain
sure.
sympathy or
I,
something? I don't know what it
but if not, if it's real life, then great. How are you, this is again a group of women that are allegedly, supposedly friends.
Mhm.
How do you have somebody there that, yeah, it was mainly to attack Jen, but it did attack everyone?
Oh, that's something I wanted to ask you. So I remember the days of Reality Von Tease. Like in the beginning, it scared me. Legit, I was so scared. I restricted that account because I've never seen anything like that. It was not like a normal troll account. It was like, I want to destroy you. And they
Yeah,
were obviously targeting Jen Shah. However, the other women were clearly impacted. And I do remember as it was going on, like I didn't document everything because I was just like, this is
right.
crazy. But I remember that account, not, I don't know if I should say attack, but definitely like talking smack about the other women. And I don't have examples because I don't have evidence. I didn't take screenshots. Do you remember exactly what it is that Reality Von Tease did to the other women? Because I feel like people are downplaying what the impact of Reality Von Tease was on the other women. They're like, whatever, it was for Jen Shah or whatever. But I feel like they did a lot more than just focus on targeting Jen Shah.
So as far as that goes, I don't remember because I blocked that account pretty early because they
Yeah.
were attacking me and like posting these weird messages from people that went to high school with me and would be like, "Yeah, that matches him. It's crazy that he jumped from one housewife to the
From
other."
high school?
Yeah, but obviously they were blurred, so that could be anybody. And
Did you see that our interview, Who Got Five Fingered, was
I
on the finale?
I did, and yeah, everything. My whole mouth was on the ground. My jaw was broken for the rest of that night because I was just like, it was one thing after the other that I was just like,
Yes.
what? And I'm
Yeah.
sure that's for everyone, but like, if that was my reaction, like, and here's my thing that I will say right now about this: people think that me expressing my version of everything is me wanting attention and clout chasing. But really, it's like I'm just expressing something that has affected me, and clearly we're watching it happen and
Yeah.
resolved. It still impacts my life. I'm not here because I want attention.
They literally go out of their way to bleep out your name and they blurt out your face. Like, it's so bizarre to me. I mean, I think for you, I do think it's probably better.
Totally. But that
But
doesn't stop people from knowing it's me. But
yeah,
yeah,
it
okay.
does make other people who are nosy to be like, well, who are they talking about? And then they want to know more. And like, well, why are they talking about this? So
Yeah.
I can imagine, I mean, I can't imagine how much or how this does impact you, even though they're not even saying your name and they're blurring out your face. It's absolutely going to impact you. They're talking about your life.
Yeah. And like I had to go and talk to my bosses about it the next day.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
not, and like to that point, I reached out to Meredith. I sent screenshots of people attacking me. I said, "How long are we going to sit on this? You know the
Mhm,
truth. You've apologized for the truth. Why aren't you coming clean publicly like you
mhm.
did this, publicly?" No response. So that tells me who she is.
Oh, another question. Speaking of Meredith, do you think Monica tried to steal the clutch?
Honestly, as much as I want to be like, yeah, take the blame, that was her. No, no one stole the clutch because if somebody had stolen the clutch because they're so great with this footage of security of the store, there
Yeah.
would be a bag going into another bag because the green clutch was in the shopping bag. So where's that footage, And one of those bags that Jen bought was actually for Monica. So
Really?
funny, funny. Yeah, because we were
Interesting.
shopping because that's what we do. Go
Oh my
shopping. It
gosh.
was a $40, $50 clutch.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yep.
Did you read Heather's book?
I did not read Heather's full book. I read one page of the book and I had to close it really fast because it just aggravated me with the lies. Page 254
Okay.
states she's talking about like the show and they basically had it, but they needed one more person and they found Jen, who was the she says here, Queen Bee may be debatable, but there was no doubt in the group Jen Shah was the MVP. And then she goes down to say that Jen had been a beauty labber, which that's not true. Jen became a beauty labber because I was like, come get treatments. And
Mm-hmm.
then she heard about Jen and was like, oh my gosh, do you think she would want to be a part of the show? And I literally said to Heather, honestly, I do not think so. Jen doesn't even have Instagram, but I will ask. At the time, the show was supposed to be about women in business. So I reached out to her and I was like, hey, they're trying to do a show about women in business. Would you be interested in chatting with them? She immediately said, if it's some housewife stuff, I don't want anything to do with it.
Oh, really?
But since it's about women in business, I feel like that would be a good thing to be a part of
Interesting.
with the minority, right? Like in
Mm-hmm.
Utah, especially in like women. So she was like, definitely, um, I'll think about it. And then, so it was like in the book, she's like, she immediately responded and said, yes, that's not the case. And here on the book, she also says that her employees reached out to Jen because she was a beauty labber. There was one employee that reached
To
out to Jen,
you?
and that was me. And don't, what's the point, you know? Because then it discredits everything I say if she puts in the book that I introduced them, because she likes to eliminate me from the equation of I introduced you to Jen. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Why do you think she's doing that?
Because she's calculated. Like the other day, I ran into somebody that I think might go to Beauty Lab still, and I kind of briefly was like, yeah, I don't talk to any of them. And she said, yeah, I don't talk to Heather ever since she got famous. Like she's literally, that's who she became. She's too good for everyone else. And so I feel like she's very calculated in planning. And I feel like this finale was all smoke up everyone's asses, even though it was a great TV finale
Yeah.
for viewers. I think it
Yeah.
was very articulated and planned out. And
Hmm.
I for sure think production.
They said they didn't know, but I
But
think they did.
can,
Like,
what would
I
happen if
could
you
have
said
found,
they did?
like, anyone could find out. Like, actually, I think this is the only franchise where they don't really care. They won't check anybody, I feel like. Because even Mary Cosby, before the first season even started, I Googled her and I shut my laptop right away. I was like, oh my God, this is scary. Like, no way would they allow someone like this to be on, but they did.
Yeah,
And oh my gosh, this is scary.
yeah, no, it is. And I will say this, like I do, you by any, all the people know this for a fact. Tanisha has never hid behind a screen to
Yes, she
say how she
actually
feels.
she commented on our first video
And,
on the Who
and
Got
second,
Five Fingered.
and the second one.
Oh, she did on the second one too.
Yes. So I will say that for, I feel like, the attacking, I feel like Tanisha can, she backs what she feels. Like she's not gonna hide behind
Yeah.
a fake account. I
Yeah.
have experienced it.
Yeah. And I've seen it too. So that's why for me, because some people, I hear people talking and they're saying, oh, I don't know if I can trust Tanisha. She was behind it too. And I'm like, I feel like she probably wasn't really behind it. Like maybe just was going along with it because of her friend or whatever. I don't know. What do you think? Like, how much involvement do you think Tanisha had with Reality Von Tease?
I think the involvement that she had was not stopping it.
Do you think, I mean, is Jen going to take action against Monica now that we're finding out that she was like legit, like stalking her? She confessed to releasing the footage of the security cameras. Like, those are actual cyber crimes.
Absolutely. And I will let that be handled by the lawyers because I think it should be, right?
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
it's insane.
It's very scary to me.
And like I don't like social media has been so crazy. It's disturbing that people are loving it. And I get it's a TV show, but this is not a TV show in reality. Like I get that you may think it's staged and fabricated and this and that, but it's like at the end of the day it's actually real and
Mhm.
people are involved. Like I'm not a housewife, I'm not part of the show. I haven't been on for 2 seasons and somehow I get dragged right back into it. So it's like, and not even just the purse thing, but also, like I said, this Reality Von Tease has harassed me before. And it's like, I don't know if they're driving by my house. I know they knew where I lived, so like that's now I'm like more aware of things. And it's like my surroundings, is there cars following me? Like just weird things like that. Cause Apparently,
Oh
they
my
did all of those
gosh.
things.
I know
Followed
that's
us, drove by our houses.
that is
For
scary.
what? Like, what were you expecting to see on these drive-bys? And not even drive-bys, straight up like parked in front.
No. What do you think Monica's end goal is?
To become a superstar. She
What does
thinks
that
she's
mean
going
though?
to
Like
be an actress.
she made it then. I mean, can she check that off her list because she is in the first chair at the reunion? Like what else does she need from here to reach that goal? I'm wondering.
I just think it's hard to fend for yourself when you're at the last seat. So of course she's gonna be at the very right next to Andy. One, he needs to protect her because everyone is out to get her. I feel
Yeah.
like that's their reason. Yeah, she was dramatic. Yeah, but I don't even think that like just because you're right next to it says that you have longevity on the show.
Oh yeah, no, I
But
don't
what do
think
I
so
know?
either.
But what do I know about that show? Absolutely nothing.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I don't think contracts have been signed for season 5, have they? No,
I would not know. And I don't
I'd
even
have
think
to check.
contracts really happen until like they're done filming.
Yeah, after reunion or after the reunion is over, I would assume, right? Because they need to see like how did that go before
Yeah.
they can make decisions.
But like for example, Jenny didn't get a contract till after they filmed the season to be a housewife.
Oh wow,
So
that's kind of wild. Is that normal?
I have no idea.
Is there anything else you want to talk about in regards to what has been happening? The reunion's coming up. It's 3 parts. They didn't have a panel at BravoCon because of the reunion. What are you expecting? Are you going to be watching? Are you like, I don't even care anymore?
No, I'm gonna watch because I need to keep track of what's being said. So you best believe I will be tuning in. As far as BravoCon and them not having a thing because of reunion, I will tell you right now that's BS because other franchises have done it and then filmed a reunion.
Yeah.
It's because they were going to expose things that they didn't want to expose yet. The sh- as in
Oh.
production, obviously these women don't get to choose if there's a panel or not. I think it was again all calculated because
Oh,
it
because
would all come out.
they didn't want them to say that Monica was Reality Von Tease at BravoCon.
Because I think that would change everything. That would probably change reunion.
Yeah, it would change a lot, I
That would
think.
change the way we look at it as it's happening.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think they were again very calculated on that decision too.
That part I'm not mad at them for because I get it. Like once it's filmed, their job is to like make it theatrical and like make people want to, watch it and all that stuff. The part that is creepy to me is if they knew that Monica was Reality Von Tease, because then they're openly letting predators into the cast, and that's scary.
But I mean, I can tell you for a fact that everyone in production, Shed, I'm sure NBC, Andy had that cease and desist. So you either tell me that they are dumb or that they knew. Which one is it?
They may play dumb. Who knows?
Yeah, they play dumb, but I don't think they are.
Wow. Anything else you want to get out there?
No, um, I feel like the truth always comes out eventually. I think that people are using Jen still, her name. I don't know why they're talking about her so much. Season 2, no one talked about Mary. Or what season was she not on? 3?
3?
Yeah. Like they remember when I just saw someone being like, "Oh, you guys are talking about stalking. Remember when Heather and Jen went to Mary's church to film? That's production. That's not Jen and Heather, that's production.
Yeah.
They tell them where to go. And guess who chose to not air that? Production. Why? Because Mary was no longer on the show. Oh, but Jen can be talked about first episode, middle of the season, and last episode, right? Now, why is that?
They have talked about Jen a lot this season.
And it's just like it comes, and I think I've told you this last time. It's like anything they're going to say that could be questioned, but they don't want to be questioned on, starts with, well, Jen said, and then no one can really do much. It's like Heather saying that. No one's gonna, Jen's not there. She'd be like, what? You know,
Oh man.
she knew what she was doing.
So when Jen gets out, I'm wondering how this is going to play out for Salt Lake City, the franchise, because I mean, she clearly has enough to like press charges or something. I don't know, sue them. I'm just speculating. I'm not a lawyer. Thank you so much, Murillo, for being
No, thank
here.
you.
It's
I
always good
appreciate
to
you.
connect.
Yeah, opening up your space again. I always feel comfortable and free. Just like at the end of the day, I'm trying to not to like attack people. I just want the truth essentially to be, expressed on this
Yeah.
side of the story because clearly no one is giving that space to nobody on this end. So everything has to be done by ourselves to kind of protect the truth and kind of, I mean, I saw during the season there was a lot of clips that you would like bring back up from our interview. So I hope that people seeing that is like validating that I'm not here making things up just to get camera time. I'm not on the show. I'm literally don't run into these women and it's great. But what I'm not gonna do is sit here and just be like, oh wow, that's crazy and
Yeah.
move on. That's it affected my life. Multiple aspects of it. And like I'm like right back to that angry place about this purse thing because there's been many opportunities to be cleared up and it never was. And I feel like
Mhm.
that is also on somebody's advantage because it will look bad if she owns up to it.